Now, talking about sense pleasures, these days in the youth, there's like an addiction of pornography.
Oh, yes.
What would you have to say about that?
Well, it's a sad reality. I would say pornography. And one article I read on internet, it mentioned that in India, 89% data is used for watching porn. Even USA watches 85% and Brazil 81%. So India is leading the world in watching porn, and that's very sad. Our youth, 89% data. That means if I have 100 GB data, 89 GB would be used in watching porn. So it's a sad reality, of course. But how to quit watching porn? One of the students which we have in one of the colleges, he was mentioning that he was addicted to watching porn. And from 10 p.m. till 5 a.m. he would watch porn. That means 7 hours, because he's in college. So in college hostels, fast speed internet, Ethernet is there, fast speed internet. So he would just watch porn. But once we had one summer camp, youth camp with the youths, and he was part of it. And practicing spirituality for a few days, he came to his senses. He said, well, I'm watching the same thing again and again. Is what the dog and the she-dog, they're doing on the streets, is what human beings are doing. And all the videos, what I'm seeing. And one porn star, she gave her interview. Now she has quit the porn industry. She said, actually, what we show in the videos, it is retake again and again. It is not that, although this video is 25 minutes, but actually the whole thing is for a couple of minutes. But it is shown by different postures and this 25 minutes thing. And the person thinks that I would also enjoy in a similar way. But whole thing doesn't last sometimes even not more than even a minute. So it's a retake and retakes, and many retakes are there in many days. It's an illusion. And then many things are there in making a video for porn websites. But because people are watching, so that's why it's a proper industry. There is $2.16 billion industry of sex toys inspired by porn.
Wow.
But what's the result of watching porn? The result, firstly, that I lose my focus. I have a book, but I'm addicted to watching porn. For me, opposite gender is just an object. For me, woman is just an object. And for a woman, man is just an object. When we start seeing the other person only as an object, we would be lonely. And that's why you see that nowadays marriages are dwindling. Why? Because people have same expectations as they have seen in the porn video. So they try to superimpose that which is not the reality onto the reality.
Exactly.
And then they are not satisfied. And when they are not satisfied, then there is frustration, there is anger, and then speaking ill words to the other person, and then they get divorced. And many of the youngsters, while watching porn, they also do masturbation. So they are wasting their vital energy. More we waste our vital energy, then what happens? More we become carnal, animalistic, exploitative, loud. This happens. So while watching porn, and in this way, I do not need other person now. That means I don't need my wife, I don't need my husband, because through this artificial way, I can just fulfill my need. So in this way, even for a selfish reason, if they were staying together, now there is no reason to stay together. Although we should have physical intimacy, we should have emotional intimacy, we should also have spiritual intimacy. But even if there is no emotional intimacy and there is no spiritual intimacy, at least they were living together for physical intimacy. Although it's a selfish reason. At least they were living for this third class reason. But now there is not even a third class reason to be there with each other. And that's why they tend to separate themselves from each other. So that's why relationships, they are dwindling because of watching porn. Also what's happening, because repeatedly one watches porn, so one is not learning also anything new. I'll not go to YouTube to see some tutorial to learn some kind of skill, to get some kind of spiritual knowledge, because I'm spending my time in watching porn. That's it. So that's also one more disadvantage we get. In fact, in 2014, when Narendra Modi ji, when he came to power, when the BJP came to power, so they banned all the porn websites in India, so that nobody can open any porn website. We Indians, we said, no, we want to watch some dirty stuff, please. We created such hue and cry that they have to allow some of the porn websites. So they would open it by using some kind of proxy server. So actually we are at fault. That even though government is trying to help us that we should not get addicted to such things, but we create such hue and cry, no, we want to watch, we want to see this. And the result is that we see that children are losing focus. In many of the colleges, we see why they are shifting to grading system or they give grace marks because they know that they are not studying. Yeah. And because of this, all of these crimes, they are increasing. Why? Because somebody is watching porn for hours and hours. Now he wants to live it also. I want to live it. I want to execute it, what I saw. And because of this, these crimes based on sexuality, sex crimes against women, they are happening. Yeah. So that's also one more disadvantage which we get. The crime is increasing. Even one of the boy, he was saying that even when he looks at his mother and sister, he looks at them lustfully. Just see the kind of deprogramming. You know, somebody can be lusty towards somebody else in the street, understood. But towards one's mother and sister. Why this is happening? Because I am watching something which is educating my mind to be lustful, to be exploitative, to see opposite gender irrespective of the relationship.
Yeah, it's like training your mind.
Training the mind in a wrong direction. He said, you know, Prabhuji, I want to confess something. I even look lustfully towards my mother and sister. I'm so crazy. What should I do? This is what porn has done to me. I become absolutely an animal. So porn actually it dehumanizes us. Yeah, we are not even sane. What to speak of spiritual? We have got absolutely insane. This is what is happening. So porn makes person absolutely abnormal. So that's why it's a self-hallucination. It's I would say, self-deception. Regularly we are training ourselves into self-deception by watching porn. So what are the things which you should do? Well, one can say, well, I get attracted to porn when I'm alone. And I watch, say, on my mobile phone. So that's why get a phone, just a simple phone, a simple feature phone that you can get for yourself. Whatever internet you have to approach, you have to go for, then you go in a public area. There can be a laptop or a desktop in public area. You have your emails and all that. WhatsApp, you open there and reply. Perfectly fine. That's one way. True. So someone can say, well, that's not practical, you know, getting that small phone, feature phone. Yeah. Get a phone then without internet. No, or you have a smartphone, but no internet. Because through internet, all of these prostitutes enter our world.
That's true. That's true.
Earlier, people had to go to prostitute. There's a red light area, then they had to visit the prostitute. But now prostitutes, they enter through this technology, through internet. So in a mobile phone, no internet. Little inconvenience would be there, but life was going on normal even before internet.
That's
yeah.
True.
So that's why one can live life. Yeah. In case you want to have internet, then there should be a parental control. That means each of the click is getting reported somewhere. Like even in my phone, there is Kaspersky Safe Kids app. Somebody can say, well, I am not a kid. How can I am having such an app? No. Even mistakenly, one may not go somewhere where we should not be going. Yeah, so in our monastery, each and every monk is having this Kaspersky Safe Kids. And there are many other such apps that are available. And they're not costly, they're very economical. We pay, I think that we give 5,000 rupees every year for 15 users or 12 users, something like that is there. But that's very good. All of my net surfing is getting reported. And then once in a month, we have this projector screen. And on that projector screen, we scroll history of all the devotees. So that means your net surfing has become public. So they would have a folder of Amogh Lila Das. And okay, everyone see, where all Amogh Lila Prabhu went in past 1 month through internet. Double click. And then history is there. So when this is not there, I can delete my history in my web browser. Tools, internet options. Delete history, delete cookies, press OK. Yes, now nobody can see me, where did I go? Excuse me, sir, Kaspersky Safe Kids. So there are many such apps, and then you make your web browsing public. And then there is scrolling. Okay, so there all you went. Oh. So that's very good for us. Yeah. In this way, we minimize also. In case in our monastery, even somebody is spending time on YouTube. Yeah. So 3 hours on YouTube, we ask, what's wrong with you? 3 hours on YouTube? Yeah. Oh, so sorry. You know, studying scriptures, chanting holy name. Oh yes. So even which is not dirty, still we are to regulate our time being spent on internet.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Like what I do sometimes I just place my phone above the almirah where it is difficult to approach.
Nice.
Just 3 times in a day, I can just open, reply my WhatsApp messages, again place it there. Don't keep it with yourself. So in this way, distancing ourselves from the smartphone, mobile phone, that's also very important.
I totally agree.
Yeah. So more it is near you, it's like, a heavenly damsel sitting to you and then you are getting allured again and again.
Yeah.
So maintaining distance. And then I can read. I can have a book before my face. Otherwise, there is only Facebook.
Yeah.
But before the face, there should be a book as well. Yeah. So for that, Facebook should be distanced. That's required. So in this way, we can maintain we can regulate our time being spent, especially watching porn. It's such a disaster at all levels. Yeah. Pornography destroys us.
Yeah.